Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Today, I'm honored to announce that Rachel Hubbard, my lovely wife, and I will be the guest show here replacing Pastor Perry. We're honored to be able to have this time to talk about all the great things that are going on at Second Chance Youth Ranch. Right now, we have expanded to 3 different cities. We have dozens of children, a lot of volunteers, a lot going on. We cannot wait to tell y'all what's going on. So, Rachel, love doing this together.
Aww, you look so handsome.
You know, we have actually, thank you so much. You look so beautiful. We've actually, from the day I met her, we've always worked together.
Yeah.
We have been married for 17 years, and she walked in as a waitress. We worked in West Little Rock, and I was a little bit older than her. She walked in for an interview, and I was like, oh, that girl is really good looking.
I turned your head, didn't I?
Yeah, and we started working. She started working that day, so the day we've met, and now we continue in the ministry. We've been doing this for 17 years, so we've always worked together from the day we met. So
we really have.
Pretty neat testimony. So, so Rachel, she's a lot more articulate, so I can't wait to hear what she's got to say. But tell us about what's going on at the ranch. Tell us how we've expanded and all the good things going on.
Oh my goodness, I feel like we're running around like crazy. There's so much going on. What we're most proud of is that we've opened more foster homes. Our goal and our whole purpose is to end the foster care crisis. You know, we want to make sure that every child in Arkansas has a safe, loving home to live in. And we have just been running like laser focused on that, trying to make that happen. And so our goal was to open 23 new foster homes in 2023. And we're about halfway there right now, so there's still definitely more work to be done. But we have, you know, when we started, babe, there were 2 houses, 2 foster homes at the ranch. And we thought that was hard. We thought that was a pretty big deal, you know. And now we have 22 foster homes under our ministry. And we're so proud of that. Just in this last 2 weeks or so, maybe 3, in the last 3 weeks, we've welcomed 12 more children into foster homes through Second Chance Ranch. And I'm just so proud of that. You know, I'm so proud that when a child is taken from their home and they do not know where to go, caseworkers are sitting in an office at DHS, making phone calls, trying to find somewhere to place these children. I'm so thankful that we have families that say yes. You know, that we can say yes, that they can come to us and they can be loved and cared for from the moment that they arrive. And we had a hard moment these past few weeks. We had a sibling group of young kids, and they came to us late in the middle of the night, and a few days later we got a call that their mom had passed away. And so we had to sit these babies down and tell them that they were never going to see their mom again. And remember,
these kids they were young children, and they looked at me and said, Mr. Billy, we were trying to explain that their mama was in heaven and what heaven was and all that. And one of the hardest moments of our, I won't say career, but as our job in 17 years, the little boy asked, is there any way that you could get me a ladder so I can climb to the top and see my mommy in heaven? That's the things that we're dealing with, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of times we take our first world problems, like this is a big deal, you know, and we have to realize that God's got us, and we need to help the kids that are almost helpless at this time, and those kids are helpless.
It makes like our problem seem so small, you know, like our bio daughter Brooklyn had like a science test coming up, and I was real worried that she wasn't going to make an A on it. And then that same day I'm sitting here having to tell children that their mama has passed away. And I don't know, like I just think that there's something about serving in foster care that helps you put into perspective all of your blessings and helps you really see that sometimes we're stressed about things that are not that important.
I agree. Tell us a little bit too, we have, you know, when Rachel and I started, we were all about the kids. Like that's our primary focus. But also the ranch has really become a beacon of hope for the foster care community, I feel, in the state of Arkansas. We are not only knocking it out with helping so many kids and so many kids' families and reunifying them and healing them, but also we're on the forefront of legislation that's taking place in the state of Arkansas, really dealing with different organizations along with the governor and with the legislative body to make change on behalf of our kids that we serve and on behalf of the kids that others serve around the state of Arkansas. Can you tell us a little bit, Rachel, about kind of some of the legislation that we've been working on the last few months, different programs with ECA, things like that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to say that's crazy that we're even talking about that. Like, when we started this, we're like, we just want to love on some babies and like be somebody's mama and, you know, make sure they had treats on Valentine's Day at school. Like, that was the big plan, you know? And now we're like in meetings with the governor, and we are at the forefront of switching the foster care model in the state of Arkansas. And I don't even know how that happens. All I know is that like when you're faithful in little, you'll be given much. Right. And God has just like elevated this ministry in a way that is clearly beyond our ability or influence. And I love that, how God takes like, I mean, I was a teacher, Billy's in real estate, we didn't know anything about foster care, and we're barely married. And Pastor Perry, he was not a foster care expert, you know, but to see God take just faithfulness and then do what he can do has been super cool. So our leadership in the state of Arkansas has proposed this idea that private agencies like ours will kind of take over recruitment and oversight of new foster homes now, so that DHS will focus on removing children who need removed, investigations, adoptions, reunifications, but foster care will be the responsibility of private agencies. And Second Chance is one of 4 private agencies that's doing that right now. But not only that, we're not going to do it alone. Like Arkansas, y'all know Arkansas be at the bottom of a lot of stuff, right? But not when it comes to foster care. Like, we are at the forefront in our entire nation for working with faith-based agencies and for working collaboratively. Some of our closest friends are the directors of other foster care ministries, you know? And so we're just coming together and saying, we don't care who gets the credit, you know, we don't care whose name gets bigger or whose organization gets bigger. Like, we're just gonna lock arms and we're gonna fix foster care in Arkansas. I'm so stinking proud to be a part of that.
You know, next segment we'll have more items to talk about what we're doing, the exciting things that God has for us. We'll be right back.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Rachel and I are honored today to be the guest host on today's show, and we're talking about real life situations with these foster kids and real life things that they are going through, and how Second Chance Ranch, through Rachel and I, Pastor Perry, and our staff, are trying to solve those problems and solve the state crisis of foster care. Rachel, in the first segment, we were talking about kind of some personal stories about some of the trauma some of the kids are. I think the viewers really like to hear what's going on. You know, what's going on. I want the real stories. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to know some of the big numbers and what sometimes even big buildings and things like that, which are necessary. But let's just talk about this segment about the kids. You want to do that?
Just like everyday life.
Let's talk
kind of
about
stuff.
the kids
Yeah.
and let's talk about real life stories. We live there.
Yeah.
We've lived on site for 17 years.
There are kids in my house all the time, y'all. All the time.
Yeah. A lot of directors and things, they kind of more work 8 to 5 at different nonprofits and things like that.
Which ones?
I
We
don't
should
know.
look
Or
into
maybe
that.
12 to whatever. But we're actually on site.
Yeah.
You know, and something we choose to do, and we love that. So we're really in the trenches, and we get to see a lot more than others, maybe in administrative teams get to see. So
We're definitely hands-on administrators, but we started out as foster parents, you know, and I know that when we became the directors, we're like, we don't want to lose that personal connection to the kids. I don't like asking people for money. I don't like really going to legislative meetings and putting myself out there trying to make a big change. Like, all of those things are uncomfortable, but we do it for the kids. But it's like when the kids like crawl in my lap on a Saturday morning, you know, or like come and sit on our porch swing with us, or, you know, just hang out in our living room and eat a snack, like, that's my why. You know what I mean? Like, that's my favorite. And I was thinking about, I can't say her name, but, you know, one of our girls that she lives in one of our campus homes at the ranch right across the street from our house. And she is really good friends with our daughter. And so, anyway, she spends a lot of time at our house. She calls us mom and dad, like, we're really close. And we were going to church on a Wednesday night a couple weeks ago, and our Brooklyn and this little girl were like, Mom, can you do my hair? Can you do our hair? Can you do our hair? And I'm like, oh, we're in a rush. We got to get dinner. We got to get homework. We got to get changed. And they wanted their hair all curled, you know. But, I mean, they gave me those eyes, and they were so cute. So, of course, I'm like, yes, I'll do your hair, you know. And so we're standing in my bathroom, and I've got my curling iron, and this girl has thick hair, so it's taking forever. But I'm curling, you know, one section at a time, and she just looks at me, and she goes, Mama, I feel safe here. And, you know, it was just this little moment, like we weren't doing anything that special. You know, we're just fixing hair before church. And I didn't prompt her to say that. She doesn't open up a lot, but just out of nowhere, just for her to verbalize something so meaningful and so powerful, I was like, act normal, don't cry, you know, this is okay. And I just love that, you know, like that is our why. That's why we're trying to open more foster homes. That's why we need to raise money to support expansion and do all of these things, is because every single child deserves to be able to say that, you know, and my little girl would never think to say something like that. Like, she has been raised, and our son Brooklyn, like, they've been given everything they need every day of their lives. They've been told, I love you 100 times a day. They've been given all the hugs and all the kisses and all the vacations and things, you know, and neither one of them would ever in a million years look at us and say, I feel safe here, because they take it for granted. They just do. They just are, but not these kids.
My favorite time of day is usually at 4:30 when everyone gets home. And I love when especially the girls, for some reason, you know, the boys too. I kind of expect it with the boys, but some of these girls, they always want to come play football with me.
Yeah.
Where's Mr. Billy? Where's Mr. Billy? You know, when we started 2006, we had 7 teenage girls, and we were only married 6 months at the time, and we didn't really know we didn't have our biological children at the time, so we didn't know really what a good parent is.
We didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Thank you for sticking through that with me.
But what I thought of a good dad was, I thought about, you know, taking them to church, teaching them good manners, teaching them their value, self-worth, and being active. You ever drive, like I do this today, I'll drive, we have a long drive out to the Second Chance Ranch, about a 45-minute drive, an hour when we get behind the school bus. But sometimes you'll see that occasional dad out there throwing a ball to like the daughter, what goes in your mind? That's a good dad.
That's a good dad right there.
You know?
Yeah.
That's a good dad. So every day, there's not one day that I don't sometimes I don't want to, but I'm a yes dad. I want to go out there and play. I don't care if they're 9, 10, 8, 7. They learn what post patterns are, slant patterns. We'll get down and down. Say, hey, hey. I mean, if it's on 2 and they jump on 1, I'm throwing a flat. Like they crave that dad.
You are.
You know?
You're a really good daddy, babe.
And I love that.
I know.
I love that. And I know some of the girls that we've had. You know, we've been 17 years, so we're grandparent over and over and over. And we'll have reunions or Thanksgiving or my birthday, whatever. We have girls come back, and that's the one thing they want to do. Paula, I'll say her name, she is like the best spiral. You know?
And she's so girly.
She's girly.
But you taught her that.
She's a strong arm and a great spiral.
And she's darn proud of it, too.
I don't know if the viewers want to hear this, but it's just like, what I'm trying to get at, we really love the kids, you know, and we want to be the best we can. And it's not only building buildings and doing things, but we really want them to know their self-worth and be active and really spend time with the small things that most of us take for granted in a healthy home.
Right, yeah. But not them. And
no.
let me just point out that I never think you're hotter than when I watch you playing with those kids. So husbands, that's a tip. Your wives love to see that. I'm so thankful for you, babe. You do a good job.
Well, we've got a minute left in this segment. Tell me another story that may resonate with the viewers.
Yeah.
That they kind of get a good picture of what life is at Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Yeah. So just the other day, it was a weekend, Saturday morning. And one of the girls in one of our campus homes there, she's 10, she was just really missing her mom. And she was down and she was mopey. And so her foster mom called me and said, hey, can she come see you? And I was like, yeah, send her up. And so she comes up and I'm like, hey, every Saturday morning at our house, we make gravy. And so she comes in and we're standing at the stove and I'm just teaching her how to make homemade gravy. That's right, I can make homemade gravy and I'm pretty proud of that. From
good,
scratch.
It's really
I can't do a lot of other things, but and she was just eating up that one-on-one attention and it was not a big deal. We're making gravy, you know. But she was missing her mama, and somebody needed to just take a minute to love on her and walk through that heartache with her. And she was smiling by the time we got that gravy made.
It's a great story. We'll be right back right after this.
My name is Serenity, and I am 16. I play volleyball. I play soccer, and I also do band. I play the clarinet. I'm in marching band, and I like it because it's like fun to do, and some people, they like playing instruments for coping skills, and that's technically one of mine. I want to be a veterinarian. So I normally go out there and feed hay to the horses or treats and stuff like that. I used to do barrel racing. So you have to take the horse around the barrel and you have to like go around the barrels without knocking the barrel over.
If you could be any animal, what animal would you be?
A dog, so I could talk to my dog. They're just lovable and they help with anxiety too. I have straight A's and B's and everything, and I do sports and all kinds of stuff. I also do cheer. I like doing arts and crafts. I have a sewing kit. I know how to use a sewing kit.
If you had one more meal to eat before you left this earth, what would your meal be?
Hibachi.
So you said you do want to be adopted.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me why?
Because I'm tired of being in foster care. I'm a sweet girl, but when I get upset, I just want to be left alone. I want a family that would love me and actually take care of me and have animals that I can play with and stuff like that. I would be out of foster care and I'd be in a loving home that would love me. I would like to be on like a farm or something like that, where they have like horses that I can ride, like dogs. I don't really know, maybe like some other animals like goats. If I could have one wish, I would wish to be adopted.
Just love those stories from Project Zero.
They're so precious.
This really wants to inspire me to do more, more than we all do. On the last segment, we also talked about stories that we encounter at Second Chance Youth Ranch. And this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about how you can be involved and help us as a community and as a foster care community to do more, to reach more of those kids, to play more football, to do all the things that we've talked about in the last segment, become a reality to more kids that are in foster care in the state of Arkansas. So again, my name is Billy and my wife Rachel. We're the co-host today, guest host. We're excited to have this platform today. So Rachel, tell us a little bit about how someone can get involved, what's coming up they may be able to participate in, and some things that we are doing to be able to help more kids that we've talked about.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, if you want to know what's going on at the ranch with our ministry, follow our Facebook page. Like, that is the best way to see updates about what we need, about events, you know, just little stories of what's going on. Follow that page. And, you know, that is one thing that everybody can do is help us share on social media whenever we post a need or post an update or whatever. It takes no effort at all to click share, and you have no idea. That may be the next adoptive parent who sees that. That may be the next foster parent who sees that. And if I have to identify one need that we have more than anything is we need more foster homes, period. There are roughly 4,000 children in the state of Arkansas in foster care. And in order to meet the needs adequately of all those kids, our state needs to open another 1,000 foster homes. That's a lot, you know, but we can do that.
What do you think the first step would be to do that? You say we need that.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there watching right now and you're like, well, I don't know much about foster care like we didn't.
Yeah.
You know, our first step was we wanted to meet the kids somehow. We just wanted to meet some of the foster kids to kind of, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Are these going to be kids that are too hard to manage? Are they you just don't quite know. And what we realized is that you can't point out a biological child and a foster child in certain families, you know, but
there's a lot of questions to ask, though. We get that.
Yeah, we end up taking our kids out for dinner. And we met some of the foster kids with the supervision of other foster parents. I think that would maybe be a way to reach out to one of us at our
and bless one of our foster
to
families, meet them, meet the kids. That's always possible, you know. And they love to go out to eat for free, so there you go. But we actually have a staff member. Her name's Liz Garcia, and she is completely dedicated to partnering with people who are interested in fostering and learning more. And she has been a foster parent for 4 years. She will walk you through every step of the way. So the first step is to make contact. You know, reach out through our Facebook page or our website. It's super easy. We're very responsive, and we'll chat with you. And we will, you and I had like 3 pages of questions that we wrote down to ask. And our good friends, Eric and Kara, they're good friends now who worked at the ranch then, answered every question for us. They took all that time. And Liz will do that because we want you to know what you're getting into. So one way to support us is to consider becoming a foster parent. But we know that that's not for everybody, right? We do know that. And so you can help spread awareness. Every October, we have an annual banquet that we have, around 700 guests come, and it's a fundraiser and an awareness raiser. And so that is a great way to get plugged in, is to sponsor that event or attend that event. Christmas time is a wonderful time to plug in and buy gifts for a specific child. We love having partners who do that with us. There's a lot of ways to support what we're doing here, and we're not going to end the foster care crisis unless we do 2 things. Those 2 things are to open more foster homes. Anything that helps us open more foster homes is a good thing, okay? Helping raise awareness. And then we have to support those foster parents really well once they're open. Because let me tell you what doesn't work is opening 100 foster homes and then turning around and closing 100 foster homes. That doesn't work. If it's too hard for somebody to survive, if they're not connected and supported while they're fostering, then they won't continue doing it. So we have to open homes and then support those homes really, really well. And there is a place for pretty much anybody to be a part of that. If you like to babysit, God bless you, we will take that service. Right? So many ways, so many things.
You know, we get a lot of people asking us that they think their situation is a barrier for them to become a foster family or volunteer, such as age or I'm single.
Yeah.
Can you talk about some of the misnomers of barriers that will really not keep you from fostering or being a part of an organization?
I mean, if you wait till you're ready, you're not going to be ready.
That's right.
You know, if you're afraid that it's going to affect your kids, well, it is going to affect your kids, but maybe in a really positive way.
That's right.
If you're single, if you're not wealthy, if you have a small home or a big home or a messy home or a clean home, if you work, if you stay at home, there's a spot for you. Foster parents come in all shapes and sizes. And you do not have to be perfect to be a foster parent at all. So please just talk to us and let's see. We're great problem solvers, we can figure something out. Some people only foster temporarily, like an emergency weekend here or there, and that's a better fit for some people. And you know, something else that we really need to talk about is funding. Like, we are blessed to have a wonderful contract with the state that pays our light bill and pays our salaries, but nobody funds opening a new home, recruitment, expansion, improvements. That's what our donors do for us. And so right now we are really believing God for more partners, more donors to help us really hone in on entering the foster care crisis, opening more homes and supporting our foster parents better.
You know what I love about our organization, it's important to a lot of people, is a lot of nonprofits put their banner saying 95% of our donations are used toward the project,
the mission,
or whatever that is, child or whatever. We're proud to say 100% of the money that we receive through fundraisers are used toward the betterment of kids in foster child.
Totally, yeah.
Rachel and I have never asked for a raise. Pastor Perry has never received $1 from that. It's not to brag on what we're doing. It's just to educate you guys to what you're getting involved with. I ask a lot of questions when I'm involved with other organizations outside of Second Chance Ranch, and I want to know those things. I don't want to be frivolous with my money, and I promise you we'll use that money to do exactly what God would want us to do. 100%.
We're small enough you can see where your dollars go, and I think that's pretty cool. So we're out of time. I love doing this with you, babe. Good job. Thank you guys for joining us.